Hello, ladies and gentlemen, hillbillies of the galaxy. It is I, Average Joe the Average Geek, here with another Orville review. Obviously, I'm not in my usual setup. I found myself working quite a bit this week, but I still wanted to get this video out to y'all, so here we go. First and foremost, let me say I called it. I called what happened with Janelle Tyler a million miles away, but we'll get there. This episode was phenomenal and heartfelt, and I really feel bad for Captain Mercer in this episode. You know, it starts off so wonderfully with him finally moving beyond his failed marriage with Commander Kelly. And it felt good to see, Ed Mercer stop being so dour and smile a little bit and get back to his usual self. And then things go haywire. He goes on a trip with Janelle Tyler, the new dark matter surveyor crew member on the Orville. And finally decides to go on a little vacation for a bit, and they get captured by the Krell. Now, it wasn't the biggest surprise in the world that Janelle Tyler was Talea, the leader of this particular cadre of Krill, played by the same actress. And when that happens, it's not a huge surprise. Kind of what happened in Star Trek Discovery with Ash Tyler being the Klingon Volk. Very kind of similar there. Not that I'm comparing the two. It's just, you know, it's similar. It's similar, and the two storylines happen very close to one another, so it happens. But it was a wonderful episode. It was not. It was a lot of great action. The ships. Oh my God, the ships get prettier every time we see them. The Krell ships are very interestingly designed. They don't. They're not. They don't look very maneuverable or anything like that. But they just look like mean, angry leviathans in space, and they're pretty cool looking like that. The other species, God help me, I can't remember their name right now, but they kind of reminded me of the dog species in Fifth Element, when the one that Gary Oldman gives the super fancy gun to. Kind of reminded me of them. Another really great design, and that's one of the things about the Orville. The alien design is top notch. One of the things, sadly, that happened with Trek in the past was it's the new alien of the week. What kind of nose appliance or ear appliance are they going to have applied to them to make them look different? They're all very, very humanoid. The aliens in Orville are unique and varied and really cool looking. So that's really nice. Uh, but all that's to set dressing for the real story. And the real story was the story between Ed Mercer and Talea. And there's a lot of really good, strong, heartfelt moments in this episode. And the acting between, Seth MacFarlane and, oh, God help me, I can't remember her name, but the actress that plays, Janelle Tyler slash Talea was very good, very subtle at times, and you could really feel Ed Mercer's pain at having fallen for this woman and it being a lie. And then you can really feel from Talea that maybe it wasn't as much of a lie as she wants Ed to find to think, which is really good. Um, the wonderful moments at the end of the episode or in the middle of the episode when Ed Mercer is saving Talea. They are in the. Let me fix the focus on that. When they're in the cave and Talea tells Ed to lay on his side because if he sleeps on his back he snores and it's annoying. To at the very end when Ed slips her the the greatest hits compilation of Billy Joel and invites her back to movie night. I kind of feel that she'll be back for movie night. And I think this is the moment that is going to turn the tide of the war with the Krill. These little subtle things that can happen, and maybe now Talea doesn't view human beings as others, as less than. Maybe now she can see their humanity more than just being an animal, and maybe this little relationship between the two could end the war, could go on to something great. And Ed has this wonderful line when he talks to Lane. It's like, just tell your people one thing for me. Tell them that we can either keep fighting or we can talk. And she agrees to relay that message. So I'm very curious to see where things are going to go. And that's a really wonderful counterpoint to the story with Gordon and how he wants to prepare himself to take command, which is very interesting because he's always been the comic relief character. He's always been the kind of guy that doesn't take things too seriously, and obviously in command you have to take things seriously. You have to be able to make those decisions. You have to be able to think creatively on the fly and be able to lead your teams to do great things. So Gordon getting that example of Ed Mercer, breaking Union protocol by releasing Talea at the end of the episode, and taking that risk to get something greater in the end I think it was an important lesson for Gordon, and I really like to see his character kind of pivot a little bit. Still be the funny guy, because he has to be the funny guy. He's a naturally funny guy. But able to pivot towards being able to make those major decisions. And we see a little bit of that when he's already making that process, when they're flying the shuttle in and he's rescuing Ed and Talea off of the planet. And Bortus is like, "Oh, we won't be able to land. It's all too unstable." And Gordon's like, "No, I got this. I'm a pilot." Like he stopped making jokes. He stopped second guessing himself, and he made a decision, and it was the best decision. And he was confident in his ability to do it, and he just did it without any hesitation, without any jokes. And that's important when you have a skill, to have confidence enough in your skill set to just pull the trigger on something. In times we get in our heads and we second guess ourselves. And if you're in any kind of leadership position, either like a team leadership position or whatever you're doing, I'm the general manager of a bookstore, so I get these decisions all the time where it's like, okay, you have to be able to make a decision on the fly and have confidence in your decision that you did the right one. And if you did not make the right decision, own it and move forward. So seeing that with Gordon was great. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how his character goes in the future. This was a wonderful episode. One of the better episodes of the Orville across both seasons. Easily the best episode of this season. With a lot of far-reaching consequences into the future of the Orville. I loved it. A+, all the way. A+. I can't wait to see where it goes in the future. Love this episode. Really, really loved this episode. Quite a bit. Anyway, I'm done rambling about this for right now. Leave your comments down below. What did you think of the episode? Did it fire on all cylinders for you? This episode doesn't have my usual editing. You won't have my intro at the very beginning and all that, because I just filmed it here at work. I'm just going to hit that submit to YouTube button and throw it on the page raw. Anyway, give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below what you think of this episode of the Orville, and we will talk again very, very soon. Peace.